Jose, California. The push for the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Edmonton Oilers and the San Jose Sharks. Welcome upstairs, everybody. John Forsland, Jen Bottrell, Chris Mason between the benches. Well, even I know where this is going tonight. Jen, you kick it off.
Well, it has been a special season for 19-year-old Macklin Celebrini. 107 points already on this season. He can compete and he can work to create that offense. Mace, huge points on the line tonight for the playoff picture. It is Celebrini against McDavid.
And Connor McDavid, arguably the best player on planet Earth, going head-to-head. Teammates for Team Canada at the Olympics. Let's see if the old dog can teach the young buck a thing or two. Huge game at the Shark Tank.
Okay, now that's a headline. Let's drop the puck and get after it. Connor McDavid opposed by Alex Wennberg of San Jose. Sit back and enjoy this one from the Shark Tank, and straight away that one deflects out of play. The goaltending matchup tonight. Connor Ingram has been nominated for the Masterton Trophy for perseverance and dedication to this great game. He gets the nod tonight. He's been very good in the second half. Alex Nedeljkovic goes for San Jose. He has won his last 3 starts. It's a back-to-back. The Sharks will be in Anaheim tomorrow night. San Jose sits 3 points off the line in the Western Conference. And they're coming off a 3-2 win over Chicago here on Monday night. It squirts out in front, and Podkolzin deposits one to the corner. Vincent Desharnais for San Jose broken up. Matthias Ekholm and Podkolzin having a career year, 18 goals. Matt Savoy for Connor McDavid, who kicks it to his stick. Evan Bouchard holding on to it. He'll draw it all the way back. He's going to get some serious Norris consideration as a top defenseman in the NHL. Savoy cycling. McDavid. He'll drag it to the outside. Pushed wider by William Eklund. He'll take it back again. McDavid puts on a bit of a show, and it's snared by Nedeljkovic.
Wow, John, already you see the motion and the speed in the offensive zone, the composure when pressure is upon him. That's why he's a leader in terms of offensive zone possession time. At one point, you see 3 San Jose Shark players within a stick length. For him, spins away from the pressure, just finds enough space to look top shelf for the shot.
Well, and that's the matchup they want. They want Wennberg out there against McDavid, but he's a one-man wrecking crew, and just his ability to create space and time, he gets an early shot here against the Sharks.
And Mace, how about that? Right from your skate up to your stick, all one smooth motion for McDavid.
He's a highlight reel every time he touches the puck.
The Oilers played last night. 6-5 overtime loss in Utah. Colin Graff will get to it. He's defended a bit by Nugent Hopkins. It's slung in front. Oh, what a chance. Will Smith set up by Macklin Celebrini. And Ingram got a piece of it out of the corner. Smith in a battle with Josh Szymanski, who has control of it. Little handoff for Darnell Nurse, and the Oilers can't get out.
Well, first shifts for McDavid and Celebrini don't disappoint. We talked about McDavid at one end, then Celebrini with a skilled setup at the other end.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch the matchup. Celebrini and McDavid not going head-to-head. Szymanski line is gonna take care of Celebrini, and then you have Wennberg on McDavid. So both the lines getting chances here early.
We're gonna have to buckle up for this one. Out of the corner, Dickinson in the skates of Ty Emberson, broken up by the veteran Tyler Toffoli. Little handoff for John Klingberg, who's back in the lineup tonight for the first time since March 24th for San Jose.
And you see Klingberg joining the rush offensively. That's what he wanted, the quick transition. And it's Klingberg on the right side joining the attack.
Jake Wallman traded from San Jose to Edmonton. He comes in on the plays to the outside. Cut off briefly by Max Jones, and now Zach Ostapchuk out to center ice. He centers the 4th line for Ryan Warsofsky. Adam Gaudette blocked and negated by the veteran Adam Henrique, and here come the Oilers. Kasperi Kapanen shielded off the stick of Nedeljkovic. Jones out in front, and it's broken up on the way back by the rookie Sam Dickinson. Left and back to the goal. Edmonton gets after it. Kasperi Kapanen winding out, denied by Ostapchuk, and the Sharks are back out. A lead feed is iced here, and we'll get a stoppage. So we'll take a peek at the 2 coaches. Ryan Warsofsky on the left has done an amazing job with this young team. They're right in the thick of things, and Chris Knobloch, we know, back-to-back appearances in the Stanley Cup Final.
You know, Ryan Warsofsky was really interesting to chat with before the game, and we know the magnitude of these games they're playing. He says for his team, he's learned they just need to be a little loose and free and just play.
Yeah.
They know how much is at stake, but you can tell that in his demeanor. I'm sure it's contagious for his players.
Yeah, and just knowing his personnel, they've got a younger team, and the pressure at this time of year is a lot for every team, but knowing his guys, and he's so complimentary of Celebrini and his maturity as a young player, being able to corral this group in and be able to step up in those moments. So it was very interesting talking to him before the game.
Edmonton in first place in the Pacific Division. William Eklund will take it in on the TSN, and they go to the corner. It's rescued by Kiefer Sherwood. It kicks around. The Oilers will get to it. Little battle here. Podkolzin wins it for Edmonton. He gets the puck back through the center zone. He's pestered by Kiefer Sherwood. And now Matthias Ekholm will wind it by Nedeljkovic all the way around. Early stages here in San Jose. 16:27 left to go, period one. And a goal to start. 2 shots in the game, both taken by Edmonton. And we get a stoppage. And we might have a too many men on the ice penalty here on the change.
Men on the ice. Too many men.
Okay, we knew that. And it will be against Edmonton. So the San Jose Sharks look to take their first bite out of this one. And we'll take a look, Jen.
And here's a look at the play, and the fans, they knew it too in the crowd here as you see the change happening. And the Oilers had a player just head on the ice too early, so huge opportunity now for the Sharks.
They are 16 for the power play. Will Smith looking for Alexander Wenberg, who's riding a 7-game point streak. Celebrini sends it back. Dmitry Orlov, he's the quarterback up top. Smith from the wall. Celebrini downhill with a shot blocked. He gets it back. He resets for Orlov, the veteran. He'll move it around. Smith. Nice read by Adam Henrique. Wenberg rescues the puck all the way back here for Will Smith. Now Orlov, a little handoff, and here comes Celebrini. He'll look over the coverage, set up Smith. Now Toffoli off a body off Adam Henrique. Smith along the boards. San Jose in possession. Orlov, Celebrini, dangles. Looks for his buddy Smith, who winds it back. Will Smith resets the table here. Celebrini again scans it, shoots it. Macklin Celebrini with some traffic out in front, and the 19-year-old does it again.
Well, 108 points now for Celebrini, but he had a couple of looks coming down that left side of the offensive zone, made some nice wide passes, and then eventually he comes high up towards the blue line to give himself some space to find the read. And what an elite shot just inside the far post with the traffic in front, but made so heads up that entire possession throughout that power play.
So heads up, effortless and smooth. Macklin Celebrini, look at the way that he just snaps that puck. No telegraph at all, and beats Connor Ingram for a huge goal here. First goal of the game on the power play.
The Sharks are now 5 for 15 in their last 6 with the power play. And Macklin Celebrini, 4th in the league in terms of scoring, will pad his statistics with that beautiful goal out of the corner now. Toffoli on Ty Emberson. Celebrini his 42nd goal of the season from Dmitry Orlov and Will Smith on the power play at 4:27.
And you think about that penalty too. Oh, here we go, turnover.
Nugent Hopkins to the slot. It's Kasperi Kapanen. And it's dug out. Igor Chernyshov through center. A rookie. He'll dump it in to the corner for Toffoli. Cut off by Edmonton's Ty Emberson. Now Wallman under duress. The forechecking of Michael Misa. Penalty is called on him.
And it's a holding call on the forecheck.
San Jose number 77, minor penalty for holding.
And these are the penalties that are going to drive you crazy as a coach. I mean, you want to create pressure on the forecheck to get in quickly, but it's a holding call against Misa. So this is what we're talking about Celebrini. His head's up, and eventually he ends up coming high in the zone to present himself as a passing option, then takes the space that he wants. So that time looks for the pass to Smith. This time comes high again, almost right up to the blue line, then makes the nice shot for the goal.
So the #1 power play, both overall and on the road, goes to work here. Evan Bouchard will send it back for Connor McDavid. McDavid now looking for his 6th scoring title. He leads the league in scoring now as it comes all the way back for Evan Bouchard. McDavid to the slot. He'll think twice, peel back away from coverage, and now Evan Bouchard with a 20-goal season ongoing. For the goal line, Nugent Hopkins. Little slot pass is denied. Good work by Desharnais, and Mario Ferraro gets it out.
Well, they get it clear. You watching the PK, they are very aware of McDavid. Almost 3 players again in tight. McDavid has to spin out wide, but you can tell high awareness of when he's on the ice.
Here comes McDavid right up the gut. Fended off, but turned over by the goaltender, Nedeljkovic. Bouchard, guarded by Barclay Goodrow. Here's Connor McDavid. He'll skate it into the goal line. Send it. He's loose on the goal line. They score. Hacked home, initiated by Connor McDavid. He'll get the goal. Celebrini, McDavid. How about it?
How about the start to this game? You think about Connor McDavid. I mean, there are so many details to his game, but even on the initial entry that he makes, there's speed and there's deception. There's a fake that he's going to go inside, attack 1-on-4. We talked about players being aware of his presence on the ice. But look how close the coverage is. He just spins away and stays with it to make sure he's still relevant on that near post. I mean, McDavid's behind the net. He goes one hand on his stick to make sure he finishes that one off.
It's crazy, too, and they've talked about life after Draisaitl on the power play, not as potent as it once was, and everyone game planning for McDavid, and he's still finding ways to get it done, and a huge response there from the Oilers power play.
I'm not sure how much deeper in the open here tonight, but you guys are right on. So nice job.
Captain Obvious is over here.
Yeah, no question. Jason Dick holding on to it now. He'll drop it off in the corner.
18 seconds.
Sam Dickinson now tries to get it out. It comes out through center ice. And Edmonton back in control of it. He'll wind it along.
And some good plays by the Oilers. You think about Dickinson supported low on the breakout. They said that was key for their play tonight. Neutral zone, nice tight gap to prevent the entry.
Here comes Kapanen. Right in, he shovels high right over the shoulder of Nedeljkovic. Kasperi Kapanen taken down initially by Sam Dickinson. Wallman across for Ty Emberson. Then feed it in, Max Jones to the corner, flushed out by Sam Dickinson. And the Oilers go to work. Wallman's shot blocked by Wenberg. Taken in again, Ty Emberson, supported by Kasperi Kapanen, and the Sharks will survive all of that.
Great example of Kapanen's speed to break in, get the chance, and it just sails a little high. He's a player moved down a little bit in the lineup tonight, but he's got that skill. His speed, he needs to use it.
Here comes Wenberg. Shot taken by William Eklund. He gets a rebound in front. Ingram comes up big on Kiefer Sherwood.
Hit the post.
And the Oilers are back out. It's a cross down for Puck Poulsen. His shot swallowed up by Nedeljkovic. And we get a stoppage. 12:01 left to go in the opening period. Tied at 1. This one tonight is about high-end talent.
Star-studded matchup.
Celebrini going head-to-head versus McDavid.
Eklund Celebrini brings the house down. 19-year-old wills his team to victory. Perhaps the greatest in the world, Connor McDavid. Look at him go. McDavid scores!
We still have a great belief in our room.
There's limited games left, so you just try to make the most out of it.
Every point counts.
Fired up for this one.
We come back with a nice look at Kiefer Sherwood, who had an excellent chance at hit the metal on the far side. We'll take a look at it soon, but you take a look at his impact he has in a physical way.
He's been shaking his head the whole commercial break. He wanted that chance. I mean, physically his presence, but he's been a great fit on this Sharks team.
And he's had a clean look at that from his angle. Now Wenberg will skate in, stop up a bit on Matt Savoy. Desharnais swings it across for Orlov. Eklund with a shot blocked. Blocked by McDavid, and now Wenberg out of the corner moves it. Dmitry Orlov in control of it. In the high slot, Eklund, and now Vincent Desharnais. He'll get it back from Eklund. Sherwood shot. Good stick check by McDavid.
Eklund has been very smart, very good at finding some little pockets of space. Through his first few shifts, he's made some very intelligent plays in the offensive zone.
Good job finding that quiet space in the high slot.
Matt Savoy grinding out. Picked up on the way back by Macklin Celebrini. He has scored tonight on the power play, and that was answered by a power play strike from Connor McDavid. Connor Murphy will sling it to the wall for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Held in for a moment by Will Smith, regained by Trent Frederick. He'll pop a pass for Jason Dickinson. That doesn't work, and now Mario Ferraro to the outside. Almost halfway through period one, John Forsland, Jennifer Bottrell, and Chris Mason, supported by our great crew here at the Shark Tank. Through center, Ferraro fends it off. Colin Graff will dump it in. Ingram now to the outside. Michael Misa swings it back for Mario Ferraro. Here's Klingberg. Misa again in the skates of Klingberg, and played at center by Ferraro.
An unlucky bounce for Klingberg, but you're seeing him very involved in the play. Pinching down, making a smart defensive play, moving to the middle of the ice to make sure he can get a lane to shoot the puck. You can see why they like his offense. He's had to adjust as a player.
Right.
In terms of procedures he's had, come back to play, but very offensively gifted.
Very unique hip surgery for John Klingberg. Dickinson stripped, and a breakaway for Jack Roslovic, who's in, and it goes wide. Maybe Nedeljkovic got a piece of it. Now it's fought for.
Oh, big turnover there by Dickinson, and Roslovic misses it.
Long with a shot right off the goalpost. Szymanski wins the battle. Nugent-Hopkins picked off by Chernyshov, and he's out. Igor Chernyshov slides a pass for Tyler Toffoli. Out of the four-man scrum, Nugent-Hopkins will emerge with the puck for Edmonton and reset it.
And Roslovic went to the same side that Kapanen did on his earlier breakaway. Not quite as high, but went to the same side. Then you see Walman with a blast off that post. Same thing to the glove side of Nedeljkovic.
Kapanen has room to skate. He'll take it in. Desharnais throws some snow, and he's stripped by Desharnais, who clears it all the way down. It'll make it for icing.
Well, Desharnais is a beast back there, and Kapanen gets on the forecheck. Desharnais takes him out.
Well, we are seeing some great speed already, and this is the one where you see Roslovic. Now he's all alone. He looks to see how much time he has. Sails just wide, and then you see Walman coming in. Look at this nice blast. Just goes underneath his glove and off the far post.
Well, both teams have been talking about their defensive side of the game, and there's been a lot of good looks. Sherwood at one end off the post, and then another one right there in a breakaway. So these teams are going toe-to-toe, highly offensive early.
McDavid broken up by Orlov. The Sharks will bat it out of play for a stoppage. 8:55 left in period one. So we're tied at 1 from San Jose, California. The second game of our doubleheader. It's the NHL on TNT.
All right, Coach, fast start to this game, back and forth. Celebrini, McDavid, what have you thought of your team start so far?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, there's some things that, we're giving up a couple breakaways that, and this time of year you can't give up. So, got to clean up a few things here.
You like that Wenberg versus McDavid line? It seems like teams are trading chances here. How do you like that matchup?
Yeah, I like it. I think Wendy's done a really good job for us as far as that shutdown, guy that we can rely on. And I think Eki and Woody do a really good job of complimenting him.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You talk about Wenberg defensively, but also Wenberg making an outstanding puck retrieval play on the goal for Celebrini to maintain possession. So he's a big part of this Sharks team, the role that he plays.
He's a smart player.
Yes,
yeah, really smart.
And you look at Sherwood, too, his ability to get on the forecheck. He's already got a couple of good looks, and they've played some offense as well going against that line.
Klingberg now will roll it around. Will Smith will take over for the Sharks. This is Colin Graff in back of the goal. Pass intended for Celebrini. He'll get it back out of the corner now. Celebrini to the slot for Smith. He'll wedge one, and it's cleaned up by Connor Murphy. They acquired at the deadline from Chicago for some insurance on the back end. The Sharks will send it all the way down. No icing here as it's picked up by Jake Wallman.
I think you're seeing that Celebrini to play, Mace. I mean, in the offensive zone, players on him, just misses connecting with Smith, but reads the play so well.
He's such the hockey IQ. Macklin Celebrini is just off the charts, especially when you're talking about a 19-year-old kid. A lot of times the defensive side of things takes a while to come around, but we were talking to Warsofsky, and he said you show him one video clip and he's rectified it the next game.
Sherwood out to center. An aerial flip, batted down by Eklund, regained by Anderson. He'll angle a pass for Colton Dock, who scored last night in Salt Lake. It rolls in by Ingram, and icing is called here.
Well, that's the one thing, too. You think about Celebrini, not only his stats and his offense, but he's coachable, and he's a leader on this team. And you hear those comments from his teammates. Some earlier chances that we saw here in the first, the Kapanen all alone just doesn't quite finish it because that sails well above the crossbar. And this is the sure one. He was shaking his head for minutes afterwards because he really wanted to finish that play. So we have seen some great offensive chances, Mace. Maybe not the tight defensive game that some of the coaches would like to see, but exciting for us to watch.
Sherwood to the outside of coverage, worked along by Eklund, and now Edmonton's back out. Vasily Podkolzin will dump it in. Nedeljkovic is an excellent puck handler to the outside. Orlov out to center. Kiefer Sherwood in front of Mace now will lift it in. Ekholm back on it with time. We approach the 13-minute mark in period one. Ekholm for Savoy. Here comes a charging McDavid. Good defensive play by Vincent Desharnais. But the Oilers take over again. Grinding on the wall is Podkolzin with help from Savoy. They tie it up. McDavid attempts to win a battle and does. Savoy will pin it deeper. Here's Podkolzin. Low to high play, getting it back now from Bouchard. Podkolzin to the wall. A dart by McDavid. He'll get back up. He's shielded a bit by Ferraro. The Sharks will defend that. They jam along the boards and they get possession. Desharnais is clipped on the way out. Matt Savoy will take a penalty. Delayed whistle. Nedeljkovic to the bench now.
And you know what, Celebrini started that. He pressured McDavid as well, down low. Just a little physical play to start things off that led to the turnover. So you're seeing Desharnais played really well against McDavid. McDavid's last shift, it was Orlov making a simple play along the boards.
Edmonton number 22, Martin Pally for hockey.
Well, trying to get a body in another offensive zone penalty, which obviously at this time of year coaches don't like that. They like guys checking with their skates, not their stick. Anytime that stick goes to the hand, it's an automatic call, and now San Jose back on the power play, 1-for-1 to this point.
But that starts because they're physical and hard on McDavid to create that turnover.
Face off, Ingram sharp on a quick bid right off the draw.
Well, that's a great face-off play. When you've got players in the middle, and Toffoli was ready for that. It's a little bit of a battle, but out of the pressure, he makes sure his stick is available and gets a nice quick release on that one. The stick goes over top, and to make sure he presents it, and that's a nice toe save by Ingram.
Yeah, Ingram had to deal with their Darnell Nurse there, and Toffoli, just that bouncing puck puts it right on net, and Ingram had his eyes on it all the way.
Celebrini goes forward. Connor Murphy gets control for Edmonton. We see it up close. He'll play it along the wall. The Oilers will get a clear early here. And Nedeljkovic will leave it for Dmitry Orlov. Orlov, Celebrini, Smith, Toffoli, and Wenberg. That's the power play for San Jose. Smith through center. Pushes everybody back. Toffoli now in support of him. Smith, Celebrini, shut down by Ingram. Celebrini given a rough ride by Darnell Nurse, and we play on. Murphy wins the battle, moves the puck to Kasperi Kapanen. Orlov attempting to trap the zone, cut off by Jason Dickinson. Here's Wenberg, down low, Toffoli with a give back. They play catch. Wenberg again from the half wall. He'll take it in. Awaiting the puck is Will Smith. He'll draw in on Kasperi Kapanen. Out of the corner, Wenberg in back of the goal. As the Sharks throw it around again with Orlov up top. No shooting lane. Here's Macklin Celebrini with a dance on Dickinson. Toffoli, Celebrini retrieves it. Peels back. Toffoli in tight. Celebrini just off the glass. And the Oilers defend it. Jason Dickinson will get it out.
Wow, what a sequence of plays from Celebrini. This time the power plays on the right side of the ice. And just those passes within 10 feet to support each other, the movement, and he gets a grade A chance in that high slot.
Yeah, that was a great exchange there, up high in the slot there, and Macklin Celebrini finding space all alone and just missed.
Short-handed. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins elevates the puck up by Nedeljkovic. Now John Klingberg retreats in his own zone with just 10 seconds left on the penalty to Matt Savoy. Chernyshov will clear it in. Contained by Ingram. He'll move it to the boards. Batted down with a high stick by Ekholm. 2 shots for San Jose. We play on now as the Sharks get possession with 4:10 left in period 1. William Eklund. Mario Ferraro. Underrated, important guy on the back end. Klingberg taken down. No call.
We talk about Ferraro too and his ability to block shots and the defensive side of things, but San Jose is really focusing on Desharnais and Ferraro, big time players back there for San Jose.
Big time players, but who's the time on ice leader for the San Jose Sharks? It's Celebrini, the only forward in the NHL to lead his team in ice time.
Yeah, we have a boatload of numbers for that young man here tonight.
So many.
Yeah, it goes on, and good for him. And he will get serious consideration for the MVP. You got to think. Now Ekholm moving in. They'll play it all the way around. Frederick is there. Szymanski moves the puck for Edmonton. To the boards now. Recovered, fought for. Desharnais is tied up on the play. As we approach the 17-minute mark in this first period. Colton Dach for the Oilers digs it out. Good diligence by him. It goes by Frederick, and now Adam Gaudette in a foot race with his opposite number, Josh Szymanski.
It's good speed, and that's why Szymanski's back in the lineup for the Oilers. That speed factor. You see him on the pressure, closing in quickly on the forecheck.
He had a good showing with Leon Draisaitl for Team Germany. That one is flipped right out of play. And San Jose's Vincent Desharnais, the former Oiler, will be guilty. So, Oiler power play when we come back. 2:42 left in period 1. Power play dart from Macklin Celebrini, answered by Edmonton's Connor McDavid as he forks it home. We're tied. The NHL on TNT is brought to you by Discover, the official card of the NHL.
Well, it's another power play opportunity now for the Oilers. Think about trying to manage the puck well. It's Desharnais that flips this one over the glass. Just got to be composed in these games. McDavid knew it right away. He was signaling the officials, but this power play looks very different. I mean, they did get one power play goal last night, but this is not the same without Draisaitl and even Hyman out as well.
Bouchard now to the outside. Draisaitl very close to getting back on the ice.
Yes, Chris Knobloch told us he's skating tomorrow.
Now McDavid with a shot pulled off by Nedeljkovic. Good work by Mario Ferraro. He'll hunt it down, look for an opening and get it.
And it's a good look by McDavid, but that's often where you have Draisaitl camped out on the power play on that right side. So they're still trying to figure out the chemistry. Overall, still the best power play in the league, but not the same without Draisaitl.
McDavid in full flight. To the corner now. He's guarded by Mario Ferraro, and now Evan Bouchard defers out. 97 takes it in. The goal sweep check by Colin Graf. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to the goal line. McDavid off a body off Nick Leddy. Recaptured by the Oilers. Bouchard looks it over. Now Nugent-Hopkins will settle it down. McDavid in tight. Connor McDavid thinks about the slot, lays it back for Bouchard, who has that big bomb up top. Here it comes off the glass. McDavid will get to it. Connor McDavid drops it off for Podkolzin, back again. Bouchard one more time. You see the time left of the power play. McDavid stick handling in. To the outside, Nugent-Hopkins off Nedeljkovic. They score! Podkolzin out in front. Big body, net front presence. And the Oilers get another power play goal and lead it 2-1.
Well, you talk about this power play having to adapt, and Todd Colson, he's got a great physical presence, but you need everybody on the ice to be a threat. So making sure he's engaged, presenting his stick, and Leddy tried to tie it up early, but he stays strong and makes sure that his stick is on the ice. Nugent Hopkins just understands there's traffic in front. Todd Colson working hard to make sure that he gets a piece of that one to beat Nedeljkovic.
Yeah, and you can't replace the Draisaitl. You can't replace the Zach Hyman, one of the best net front guys in the league. But Todd Colson, huge opportunity for someone to step up and take that role. And right there, Todd Colson just strong on the puck, ends up getting a great bounce from good hard work up front.
So Vasily Podkolzin, his 19th goal of the season. Always among the league leaders in terms of hits. Had a breakthrough year last year, even better now.
When you think about opportunity now, playing alongside Connor McDavid, not only on the power play, but even strength.
48 seconds left here in period one. Macklin Celebrini, defended by Darnell Nurse. Trent Frederick out to center ice. He's looking to gain traction in his game here down the stretch. Trent Frederick, and now it's held in by Ty Emberson off Celebrini. A bouncer in front. Colton Dach will get to it for Edmonton. He's double teamed. 25 seconds left in the period. At the point, Wallman. He'll keep it in the zone. Orlov will take over for San Jose. Voracek a bit. Helped out by John Klingberg, and Will Smith will turn it over to Adam Henrique. Edmonton back in. Henrique throws on the brakes. Interrupted by Will Smith and back out.
That's a smart defensive play by Smith. Just making sure that he intercepts that puck, because you've got now the last few seconds of the period, he prevents the Oilers from getting another chance.
So Edmonton, with 2 power play goals, has a 1-goal lead here after 20.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge presented by Expedia is back.
Oh, boy.
Face off against family and friends. You can claim the ultimate prize. Sign up today at NHL.com/bracket.
Coming up, it's the Vanda Pharmaceuticals Intermission Report. Liam, Ace, Chili, and Panger talk it over. Macklin Celebrini gets the ball rolling for San Jose, answered by Connor McDavid and Vasily Podkolzin. Edmonton by 1 after 1.
It's Vanda Pharmaceuticals Intermission Report. A couple of MVP candidates, and both of them not disappointing. Macklin Celebrini opens the scoring. He's on the power play with a goal. Connor McDavid, look what I found. Power play goal of his own. Edmonton up 2-1. Does Podkolzin get this?
Went up his left skate.
That's what you're saying?
Yep.
The skate that was behind the pad that we couldn't see?
He's going in that scrum saying 92, 92, 92.
He's got a goal and a helper in this game, Podkolzin does.
I still want to know how you can see through the pad.
I was looking like this. It was through the screen.
Oh, yeah.
I was imitating Chris Mason.
Well, by the way,
that's why.
We have a case here of who wore it better. You and Chris Mason. This is a look.
But I'm like mini-me. Compared to
Mini Mace?
Mace goes to do the interview. He's got the sleeves rolled up.
He has the guns.
Yeah, he's got the big arms, big guns. Yeah. Attaboy, Mace. Love this guy.
Need a little facial hair, Panger.
You got to grow that goatee.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
That'd be a good look for you.
I don't know about that.
Need to up the peptides too. Jeez.
Yeah.
How jacked Mace is.
Maybe I know he's pumped.
Well, usually you come in, you have the tan, you have the glow, but
I got the title right now. Boy.
Yeah.
AC, I'm going for you next, man.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Oh, don't be so sure.
Well, based on how we make graphics in here, you never know. It's a good possibility.
It's coming after you, AC.
Oh, all right. Hockey, we'll talk about. Why not?
That'd be perfect.
Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
It's a good first period.
We're starting with Celebrini here. What do you got?
So dangerous. He's the threat to shoot and pass the puck in. He's got the puck on that half wall. He's got more points than anybody on his team. It's like a wide gap between Will Smith and Celebrini. But look at him come up from the top of the circle and skating downhill. Like, that's a threat that's hard to stop. And the chemistry between Will Smith and this guy is just ridiculous. 78.6% of Will Smith's points have come off of Celebrini's stick, Panger.
Well, they have great instincts together. They're great off the ice. They've got something special going in this San Jose, and it starts with those two guys. And one's a left-hand shot that can He's a great playmaker, obviously, in Macklin Celebrini. Will Smith is a sniper. I mean, the kid just loves to shoot. He's got this big toe curve. And so on that power play, when Macklin's on the left side, if we're looking at the goaltender, and he goes downhill, then later on, they switch it around, and there's Macklin on the right side. He had a little give and go with Toffoli, but the other option is to go cross seam, and there's Will Smith just ready to tee it up as well. So I love the chemistry with one another. And Toffoli's a great compliment as well, because he's got good hockey sense and hands to those little give and goes.
But you could tell that Celebrini, he's so young, hasn't been in the league for a long time, but he's a student of the game. And that shot that he took and that play that he made on the power play, I think he stole that from number 97, the other side. We've seen this before.
From the best.
We've seen Connor McDavid score goals, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Going back to November and 8th, 2025, McDavid Chelly does this all the time. Gets lost in the power play, skating downhill, use that momentum. If he doesn't look for Draisaitl on that back end, who's not playing tonight, he's been a threat to score goals from that play.
And as a defender, that's the best you can do is keep him wide, let the goalie get out a little bit in his crease and cut off that angle and bury it. But they find ways that he's short side, far side. That's just a gift that these guys have. But that's where you want to have McDavid on the outside and not allow that pass through the seam.
Chelly, you're one of the best penalty killers that I've ever seen.
You said he was the best back there.
Yeah, so
you told me.
If I said the best, then he would probably say, well, there's other guys. So you're the best penalty killer I've ever seen.
We'll edit all that out.
What do you think in your era, did guys go downhill like that, like loop back and then go down like that as much as what you see with these guys?
A lot of more stationary. You know, of course, now there's way more movement and more structure with their power. Usually you tell the guys in the PP, do your thing. You know, they have that vision. You can't coach that. Whatever the other team gives them, they take it. But again, like you just play the percentages and keep the guys around the perimeter if you can. And that's the best you could do for your goaltender, you know?
I thought both situations, they were kept enough on the outside that we showed the one against Wedgwood in Colorado, which went short side from McDavid. But I thought this one, I didn't think Ingram read that very well either. Listen, I know it's a tough play, but it just seemed like you've got him coming out. Just come out a little bit more, maybe challenge a little bit more, get yourself more square to it. But.
Well, that goaltending is going to be under the microscope. Let's face it. I mean,
he's
he's
the number one guy.
He is going to be the guy.
But they can handle this in Edmonton. They've handled it for years.
Well, it's because they have 97.
That's
why.
That's another reason why he maybe again will win the Hart Trophy.
We could debate till we're blue in the face up here about if Edmonton's better or not, if they have a chance to have a deep run.
Yeah.
But having 97 on that team, Liam, regardless of if Draisaitl's there or not, this guy's a difference maker. He's a difference maker on the power play.
Good news, Draisaitl's skating.
Did you just pick McDavid for the MVP?
I'm almost getting this wishy-washy as Anson here. Man, oh man, I can't stick to my guns.
I'm curious who you're going to pick in the postgame. Because we'll just go through all the candidates by then.
We know Chelly likes Cooch. We know that already.
Cooch
is Chelly's guy.
I'm sorry. I got to stick with him. He's just fun to watch.
Come on, Panger. Pick one. You can't.
I'm resetting. Still, I've still got time.
Mini Mace over there.
Mini Mace.
You're watching the Vanda Pharmaceuticals Intermission Report. Innovate in the service of people's pursuit of happiness.
What call it, Embo? That's it. Yeah. That's it, Ponze. Way to work it. That's it.
Colson gets the credit for the goal. He's 19th on the power play. Oilers have the lead, and that's big because right now they're tied with Vegas points-wise in the Pacific. They'd get to 90. First team in the Pacific to get to 90, which, by the way, in the East would put them outside the playoff picture. San Jose, bigger for them, though. They're on the outside. They would get within 1 point of
with one game in hand.
Yes, with a game in hand against a team that they're going to play very soon. Second period coming up. Good chat, Pang.
Thanks, buddy.
Pang.
NHL on TNT is brought to you by Panera as we get set for the second period here in San Jose. John Forsland, Jen Bottrell, Chris Mason. Let's talk about tonight's headliner.
Well, let's. Connor McDavid, Macklin Celebrini both lived up to the hype in the first period. First, Macklin Celebrini, offensive zone, nice support, quick passes, chances in the high slot area, coming down on the power play, the beautiful accuracy on his shot for the goal. McDavid, he's been a factor on both the Edmonton Oilers goals. You see his speed, Mace. For him, everything is with quickness and just an understanding of where he needs to put the puck to be dangerous at all times.
Yeah, and it's almost no matter how much you game plan for these types of players, no matter how well you defend them, they're still going to create offense. We saw that front and center in that first period. And I thought that both teams did a reasonable job on Celebrini and McDavid trying to bump those bodies and get in their face every chance they can, but they're still able to create regardless of that.
Second period of long changes. All 3 goals scored on the power play. Kicks out. Rolled back. Desharnais will refine the handle. Move it. Now it's played here by William Eklund. He'll take it in on Connor McDavid. Wenberg to the wall. Wedged a bit by Ekholm. He survives it. Here's Desharnais with a shot off the stick of Podkolzin, and it goes out of play.
Well, we think about these two superstars and the start of their careers and how they matched up. I mean, coming into tonight, they each had 146 career games. You look at that stage of McDavid, they were even in points. But through 147 career games, so Macklin Celebrini with the goal tonight, 171 points. But for Connor McDavid, in his 147th career game, he had 3 points. So if they want to stay even through that point of their careers, Celebrini has some work to do to catch up.
Oh, the TV gods are working that one. That is uncanny. That was played along the boards. Chernyshov, a shot by Misa, blocked by Connor Murphy. Sam Dickinson in the skates of Igor Chernyshov, and now he'll feed it ahead for Misa. Michael Misa denied ice of it. Chernyshov shielded a bit by Ingram. And now Dickinson shot wide on the glove side of Connor Ingram. To the corner. Misa taken down by Darnell Nurse as the Oilers have a hard time getting out. Toffoli shot tipped high by Chernyshov out in front.
You saw Chernyshov, you saw Misa finding that little pocket in the low slot area just to the left side of the zone, getting open for chances.
Yeah, you see, and the Edmonton Oilers, they're doing a good job. They're going to take on some zone time, but Connor Murphy's been a great ad for them defensively. A couple big shot blocks in this game, and San Jose, even through the start of this period, still only have 3 shots on goal.
McDavid scales it all the way around. Ringberg will get there for the Sharks. Colin Graf retrieved by Will Smith. He'll move it along by Ty Emberson. He'll locate it. Move it to his partner Jake Wallman. Wallman to the boards and out. Edmonton now on the march with Podkolzin, who has a goal tonight. This way it's McDavid with a shot off a stick off Ferraro wide. Ekholm to the slot. There's Podkolzin for the Oilers. Ekholm. Evan Bouchard now defers out to Connor McDavid. He'll pump it wide on the glove side of Nedeljkovic. Moving down, Max Jones. He'll take it back. Flushed out a bit by John Klingberg. From the corner, wound out by Matt Savoy. Savoy hinging down. It goes off the stick of Bouchard, jumping the twig of McDavid. Bouchard gets it back. He's taken down, and a penalty will be called on Macklin Celebrini. San Jose gets possession.
He's just trying to get hard on the forecheck there and ends up getting the stick in the skates. So the Edmonton Oilers already 2 for 2 on the night on the power play right here. Just gets the stick in the skates.
San Jose number 71, minor penalty for tripping.
And Edmonton back on the power play. Scored 2 goals already on the power play. All 3 goals in this game have been power play goals.
And you see the benefit there by Bouchard. You know, he has a big upside offensively, and you see Bouchard just keeping his feet moving in that corner after he makes the turn. If you're going to turn as a player, you don't just turn and stand still. You turn and create motion and keep your feet moving, and draws the penalty from Macklin Celebrini, who we know is very good in terms of his two-way play and making sure that he's solid in defending, but just outstretches his stick and takes the penalty.
Edmonton with 2 goals on 4 shots. With their 2 power plays and a clear straightaway by Vincent Desharnais. Early stages of this second period. SAP Center here in downtown San Jose, and this building is alive again. Nugent Hopkins. Evan Bouchard will draw it away from coverage now and slide it across for Connor McDavid. He'll take it in. Goes off Desharnais to the corner. Nugent Hopkins allowing McDavid to wind it up again for Bouchard. He'll scan it, move it, skate the stick, Podkolzin. And a reset. Bouchard. McDavid now swoops in. To the outside of Graf, to the outside of Desharnais. Bouchard with some patience, looking for a tip. Ferraro has it for San Jose. And Wenberg is out shorthanded with Colin Graf. Wenberg holding onto it, salting away some time and alertly getting it deep.
You know, Desharnais makes some good plays with his stick.
A breakaway for Roslovic again. He scores! Jack Roslovic catches the Sharks napping. It's another power play goal. 16:27 left in the second. 3-1 Edmonton.
Well, this is Roslovic's second power play, his second breakaway of the game. And this time, on the power play, even though that pass, that's McDavid's pass. He recognizes the Sharks are not available. What a beautiful fake. He looks up. He sees the entire ice. We talked about his quickness. What a release on that pass to send Roslovic in all alone. Time and space, opens the forehand of the blade to sell that shot just enough to make sure he can bump it over the pad of Nedeljkovic.
Yeah, and the awareness there of Connor McDavid. He's 200 feet from the net. San Jose was going for a change on that one. And that one pass right up the ice set Roslovic on that breakaway. So.
And it was Desharnais right in front of you, right, Mace? Because he made, I talked about those good plays on the PK because he used to play for the Oilers. I feel like a recognition of McDavid's speed, how to defend him, practicing against him. But then unfortunately, the lack of awareness on the change that sends Roslovic in on his own.
Yeah, and it's tough in the second period. You have that long change there, and he kind of got caught in between. He was a little too close to the bench. Stutter step to go back, but by the time he did, it was too late.
So his 21st goal of the season. This is a player that didn't have any takers in the offseason. End up working out a deal with Edmonton just prior to training camp. And a 3-goal situation now for the Oilers on the goal by Jack Roslovic, set up again by Connor McDavid, who's factored in on all three. Wenberg draws out, trading places with Klingberg, and Wyden and stick. They score! Tipped down in front. Kiefer Sherwood in the right place at the right time, and the Sharks answer back.
Well, that is a huge goal to make this one a one-goal game. AT&T connected cam. Look at this one. And Kiefer Sherwood, you think about a player, he was so upset about that chance that he missed in the first that went off the post. But here's a player, you're going to make sure that he's above the coverage to make sure his stick's available, the great hand-eye coordination, traffic in front, and a massive goal to make this one 3-2.
Yeah, massive goal, and that's the first Shark shot in a long time, and I think this is what they have to do. They've got to get those two layers of traffic. You see Eklund, and then Sherwood up high, gets that tip. Connor Ingram never saw it. That's the way the Sharks have to attack the net.
The response goal comes 64 seconds after the goal by Jack Roslovic as that puck goes out of play, and we get a stoppage.
Well, that's been a long time since the Sharks had a shot on goal. They had 3 in the first period, and we're almost 5 minutes into the second. That was their first shot of the period. And again, I love that net front attack. These goaltenders are too good. If they see the puck, they're going to save it. San Jose's got the skill, but guys like Kiefer Sherwood, he gets to the net, does a good job there, and tipping that one in the high slot.
And Mace, we talked about Wenberg and his intelligence too. He recognized the point when to fire that shot in for Sherwood to deflect it.
Absolutely.
So Wenberg factoring in.
Yep.
Michael Misa kicks it out. Chernyshov holding out. Holds the stick of Tyler Toffoli. Edmonton is back out. Roslovic will snap it deeper in the zone. San Jose has 2 goals on only 4 shots thus far. Chernyshov now thread a pass cut off by Matthias Ekholm in play. He's peppered on the forecheck by Toffoli, and now in control of it. It's dumped out by Adam Henrique. Dickinson coughs it up. Shot taken by Savoy, stopped by Nedeljkovic. Here's Bouchard. Away it along for Ekholm. McDavid, Evan Bouchard cranks it up through a screen wide, and it goes by Ekholm and back out.
Well, you see these players playing with McDavid, just creating space for him.
Here comes Connor to the house. He scores! What a goal! Connor McDavid! He's owning this game right now. 14:07 left to go in the second period. The Oilers back up by 2.
Wow, you think about the speed that he's playing with, and there was a quick regroup in the neutral zone, and then he just attacks, driving to the net, the one hand on the stick to make sure that he protects the puck and carries it right across in front of the net. Right around Leddy. Nedeljkovic goes for the poke check, but there's no chance. McDavid sees it coming. The crossovers, the acceleration, one hand, and the finish, Mace. Unbelievable.
Well, when he winds it up like that, there's nobody in the league that can match that speed. It's no other player like him in that regard. He just gets speed there, and Nedeljkovic is thinking, I'm just going to poke check him, and he still pulls the puck out and finds a way to tuck it in. He's just a phenomenal player, and that speed is next level.
Nugent Hopkins bearing in for a shot, shielded off the stick of Nedeljkovic. Now Kapanen goes deep with it. McDavid, 2 goals, 2 assists so far. Nugent Hopkins now occupied by Nick Leddy, and it's loose in back of the goal. Getting to it is Jason Dickinson for Edmonton. Sam Dickinson under some pressure, no relation, loose along the boards. Getting back up now is Nugent Hopkins, and it's cleared out for Colin Graf. Here come the Sharks, but the play is offside. Celebrini in the zone too early.
Celebrini, he wanted that one. He's upset with himself, but he was demanding the puck at the blue line and didn't quite get it.
Well, Connor McDavid, right now, this is his show with 4 points. That's hockey right there. What a move by 97, 4-2, Edmonton. Tomorrow on ESPN Plus and Hulu, the Maple Leafs visit the Islanders at 6:45, followed by the Wild visiting the Stars at 9 p.m. Sunday, the Penguins head to D.C. to face the Washington Capitals at 3 p.m. on TNT and HBO Max, and also the Bruins take on the Blue Jackets at 6 p.m. on NHL Network. Mario Ferraro out of the corner, moved along. The Sharks will lay it through center. It comes all the way down for icing with 12:59 left in the second period.
Well, John, I think the Oilers, 4 goals for the Oilers, 4 points for McDavid. I mean, Mace, what's it like at ice level? Because his explosiveness, it's almost impossible to defend. You see the Sharks D, they can't have a tight gap because he's just going to beat you wide.
No, it's almost, he's a cheat code. And when you're down here at ice level, you know, obviously watching the highlights, you see how fast he is, but it is just breathtaking. It's truly unbelievable, the speed that he possesses. And you're talking every single night playing against the best players on the planet, and he's that much better and that much faster. Just a generational talent, and in the biggest game of the year for them, they need that Pacific Division. They're trying to, you know, take stranglehold of that first spot, and that's what the best players in the world do. They step up when they need it most.
The second goal scored by San Jose. Mace was asking about the time between shots. It was 10 minutes and 23 seconds for San Jose.
Wow.
Between shots. Bouchard looking for some space. The lane taken away by Barclay Goodrow. Now McDavid drops it off. Ekholm. Here's Bouchard. They trade places. Evan Bouchard winding it up. Connor McDavid again in the high slot. He'll send it back and get it back from Bouchard. McDavid looks it over. He's feeling it. A shot tipped high, and Barclay Goodrow's on it.
He is feeling it. And I mean, how many passes? That must have been at least 3 takeovers, 4 passes back and forth. Bouchard and McDavid, they find each other again in the neutral zone.
McDavid again. Rethinks back. Off a stick. It's loose. John Klingberg will get to it. He'll wrist it out. It's batted out by Ostapchuk, and the Oilers are on it again. Here they come. Evan Bouchard now will dump it all the way around. Adam Gaudette sealed off a bit, but San Jose, William Eklund will get it back out.
You see Savoy and Podkolzin. I mean, they're just going to battle or get in front of the net because they know how to complement McDavid. Great awareness for them to create that space for Bouchard and McDavid to move together.
And I think Edmonton's doing a really good job. Their forwards are they're attacking on the forecheck, but when they don't have possession, they're getting above the puck, and the Sharks having big time trouble getting through the neutral zone.
Ferraro takes a hit from Colton Dach. Wenberg can't get to it. Frederick did for Edmonton. Dach for Frederick. Nice read by Wenberg on the way back. And he'll skate it out of harm's way. 11:25 left to go in the second period. John Forsland, Jen Bottrell, Chris Mason here at the Shark Tank. Edmonton with a 2-goal advantage. William Eklund now will send it in. Jake Wallman throws on the brakes. He's forechecked. And the Oilers survive that, and out they are. Connor Murphy all the way around. Desharnais back first. That's help from Sherwood. They'll pop it out to center. Wallman through the middle of the ice. Chipped ahead, but not deep by Nugent Hopkins. Jason Dickinson off Orlov. He'll get it back. Nugent Hopkins wrapped up by Desharnais. Jason Dickinson cycles out for Edmonton. We'll drop it off for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and it's cleared out.
And the Oilers have done a pretty good job of having at least one of their forwards at the far blue line to create some space in the neutral zone for their transition game. You see a battle there, Celebrini and McDavid right in front of the Oilers bench. Hey, huge game. We knew it was going to be a big matchup. So you're thinking about Connor McDavid's night. 4 points. His awareness, his intelligence, the play in front, but he sees, oh, one-handed, I'm still going to bury this one for my first goal of the night. The pass that he makes beforehand, the assist on that goal. This is a beautiful stretch pass to Roslovic on the breakaway. And this perhaps the most impressive. His speed on the attack to drive wide. Another one-handed effort to protect the puck. It is incredible to watch.
Well, it really is. And you think about it, there's no Draisaitl, there's no Zach Hyman. So obviously objective number one for the Sharks is to stop Connor McDavid. He doesn't have the support of two of the best players in the National Hockey League, but he's still able to elevate. He just demands so much attention. And I guess we're getting another too many men penalty here by the Edmonton Oilers. One right off the hop. The San Jose Sharks scored their first goal on that penalty, and another one. Tough break there for Edmonton. They're all over the Sharks.
Jack Roslovic will serve the penalty bench minor for too many men on the ice. Great chance here for San Jose.
Absolutely, and they've had some good comeback wins. They've been in tight games before, so this is a chance to bring the game back into one goal. Celebrini, just such a heads-up player here through the neutral zone.
Celebrini threads a pass. That's denied. It comes back out. Orlov, Tyler Toffoli. He'll rim it. Put off nicely by Connor Ingram. He'll play it to the outside. And Henrique attempting to get it out. They do now thanks to Matt Savoy. Orlov won the Stanley Cup with Washington in 2018. Wenberg at the line, moves it by Bouchard. Read by Ekholm. He sets up his partner, but it's held in by Wenberg. Corralled by Will Smith. Orlov now to the outskirts. Celebrini will send it back. Orlov guarded by Matt Savoy. Celebrini slides a pass. Ricocheted wide off Will Smith. And it comes back out.
Couple good looks there by the Sharks. They had some space there, just couldn't quite connect on the execution.
Toffoli kicks it out to Wenberg. He'll settle it back. Now Orlov. Smith just finds Celebrini. Macklin Celebrini gets to it. He's tugged a bit there. And it's pitched out. Open ice. Short-handed. Matt Savoy walks in. Shut down twice. It's loose. Rescued by Toffoli. Right at the goal line. Now a jailbreak for San Jose. Orlov miscommunicating with Wenberg. Kapanen and Dickinson come calling. Dickinson's shot goes wide. And it comes all the way back. Murphy will feed it back in.
How's that for some end-to-end action? Speed, attack, chances.
Wenberg on Nurse with a stutter step to the corner. Alexander Wenberg holding onto it now. Laid back for Ferraro. Here's Celebrini winding a shot, a stinger off the hand of Jason Dickinson. Roslovic's out of the box. Edmonton kills it, no shots. For San Jose, here's William Eklund. Vincent Desharnais in the circle. Ferraro all the way across for Eklund. He'll send it back. Desharnais again. A wristed stop by Ingram. He got the rebound. It was Sherwood on the doorstep.
Huge save by Ingram. The right toe save.
Well, the Sharks again doing the right things. Getting traffic to the net, pucks, and that rebound. Connor Ingram. Desperation. Rob Sherwood with his right pad.
We are going to try to show you some of this exciting action. Savoy on the PK for Edmonton. The nice look tries to go short side. It's laying on the goal line. Toffoli saves it. There's a look at the Savoy chance. What an effort by Toffoli to make sure that does not cross the line. And then you look at this Ingram save, Mace. Wow, what a reflex to make sure he gets a piece of that.
Yeah, that puck it stopped right in front, hit the traffic in front, and Kiefer Sherwood with a backhand. And it's been a tough game for Ingram. He's only had 6 shots, and then you get a high-quality chance like that. You got to be sharp and mentally focused, and Ingram right there. Sharks had a chance to come within one, but Connor Ingram comes up big time.
But also you think about that play by Savoy, not only up in this lineup, playing with McDavid, getting the time shorthanded and the burst of speed. And they talked about his skating ability and his intelligence to put himself in those kind of situations, earning the trust.
He did a great job there, and they had the 2 best chances on the Sharks power play.
Savoy's had a good year. Solid year in the American Hockey League last season. Traded from Buffalo for Ryan McLeod 2 years ago. Now Nurse out to center, but he's matured and developed as the puck is iced, and that's the key.
ISO cam. Yes!
Oh my God. You gotta eat your broccoli.
This is normal life.
Great content, huh?
Face-off possessed by Mario Ferraro. He'll get it deep for Eklund, and now Sherwood. Played all the way back. Ferraro at the point with a wrist shot off the pad of Ingram. Sherwood to the slot again. That was McDavid that got in the way. Down low, it's Eklund out in front on sticks. Rejected by Nurse. Now William Eklund winding back. Nurse in back of the goal. Nugent Hopkins will lend a helping hand for the Oilers. They get a reset. Murphy angled off the boards on the target.
You see a couple details in Celebrini's game. He spoke to Ferraro just before the puck dropped. Won the draw exactly where he wanted it to be. A little tight check with his stick to make sure they maintain possession. Just those little details.
As the breakout develops for the Edmonton Oilers, Frederick has a man alone in front. Szymanski, what a save by Nedeljkovic. Frederick all the way around. Amberson off a body, blocked by Leddy. Picked up here by Wallman, shielded again by Nedeljkovic. Colton Dach for the Oilers. All the way back for Ty Amberson. Josh Szymanski drags it, shoots it, blocked in front. Friendly fire off his own man, now a foot race. And Szymanski will get there ahead of Gaudette, and he loses his stick, not his mind, and he gets it out.
Look at the second effort by Szymanski. I mean, great burst of speed offensively, recognition defensively. He's the last player back and makes the smart defensive play.
Through center ice, Sam Dickinson gets in the way for the Sharks. Frederick now will send it in. Nedeljkovic moved along. Ostapchuk taken down in a hard way by Max Jones. Sam Dickinson elevates the puck. Ostapchuk tries to work Ekholm with a tight turn. He'll get it out. Chipped along by Roslovic.
This is another stretch pass by the Oilers. Lengthwise down the ice, north-south, to get into the offensive zone quickly.
Now a steal. McDavid across. They score! It pinballs home. Connor McDavid factoring in on all 5 goals. He's got another one. It's 5-2 Edmonton.
5 points and a hat trick already, and we are still in the second period of this game. You think about the speed on the attack. We talked about the initial stretch pass that Ekholm makes. It's a 2-on-1. The deception, he gets a fortunate bounce. I mean, but Orlov, you are in desperation mode, trying to prevent the initial pass, and then he tries to sneak it across. And when things are going your way and you're Connor McDavid, there it is, your 5th point of the night.
That's crazy. I thought Roslovic did a really good job of handing that off to Connor McDavid and then continuing on to the net, creating that 2-on-1 opportunity, forcing the defenseman to go down there and getting that bounce. And I mean, what can you say about that guy? He's running away with the scoring title here in the National Hockey League.
His 15th career Hattie and his 47th goal of the season. And a 3-goal advantage for the Edmonton Oilers.
It's amazing with McDavid that he just finds another level. Like whether Kucherov's getting close, it's a matchup against Celebrini. He's going to find another gear.
And he gets the fortuitous bounce off the stick of Dmitry Orlov. And he's initiating everything tonight as Kapanen's taken down.
And he does get the fortunate bounce, but he creates the deception on the 2-on-1. So your D is panicking and flailing because of the position McDavid has put you in.
Yeah, and you just, in these moments, obviously this is the biggest game for both of these guys, and Connor McDavid's able to elevate his game even more, you know, to get these points and get them in the lead right here. It's just, it's phenomenal how dominant he is.
Sherwood intended for Eklund. And now it's carried out by Connor McDavid with a 5-point night ongoing. He's defended by Desharnais, rolled back, and now Will Smith breaks it out. San Jose in the process of a line change, so Smith will send it all the way around. Ekholm deals it back for Bouchard. He's forechecked by Smith with 4:32 left. A steal. Smith in tight, off the crossbar as it wouldn't go.
What a skilled play by Smith. tries to go upstairs to beat Ingram and just off the crossbar. Think about thinking quickly with not much time.
McDavid establishing his turf in this one. Bouchard will play it outside the line. Connor's got it again. Here he comes. He lowers the shoulder on Desharnais. Bouchard shifting on Graf. McDavid has room. A winding shot blocked in front. Located by Nedeljkovic. That'll stop play.
And you see the shift change. Now I've got Frederic out there, but Podkolzin, I mean, often when McDavid has the puck, Podkolzin is working hard and battling to make sure that he gets in front of the net. So you've got two players in front, and now McDavid has time and space to be creative in the offensive zone.
It's all Connor McDavid. 3:55 left in the second period here at the Shark Tank. 3 goals, 2 assists, and a bounce there, well earned.
All right, Coach, obviously Connor McDavid is a cheat code on certain nights. This is one of those nights, but talk about the importance with no Draisaitl, no Zach Hyman, guys like Podkolzin and Roslovic stepping up on the power play.
Yeah, obviously, since we missing Leon, our power play dipped a little bit, but I think it's looked really good and had some really good chances. They just haven't been able to finish, and tonight has been a different story. We've been able to put those pucks in. That's been the difference of the game tonight.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Done a great job with the Edmonton Oilers. They go through peaks and valleys, it seems, every season.
Well, he talked about their team at times not being flashy, but
Right.
just everybody doing their job. And that's why even that McDavid line, I give the example, those two guys working hard away from the puck to create time and space. And
Celebrini off the stick of Ingram. And the Oilers now will attempt to get it out. 3:40 left in the second period.
Yeah, that's a good point, Janet. As good as they've been offensively, I think a lot of it has to do with how well they've defended. They didn't really like their game in Utah, gave up 7 goals, couldn't get out of their zone. They're above the puck. They're giving the Sharks fits in the neutral zone and just finding ways to attack on the transition.
And you let your flashy guys be flashy. McDavid with 5 points, and everybody else do the little things and do your job. Defensively responsible.
Puck is broken up. Frederic will get it out for Edmonton. Nick Leddy, cross ice. Celebrini at the line, hacked at by Emberson. He still has it. Celebrini with a pass that ricochets across. Colton Dach will get back to it. Under 3 minutes left in the second.
Just still keeping an eye, right? They've always got a high player, 1 or 2 forwards at this far blue line to just create space, the Oilers, for their breakout.
Klingberg through the middle. Wenberg, Sherwood. That's for Wenberg, broken up by Connor Murphy. He'll play it to himself beautifully. Edmonton's out. You're looking at Kasperi Kapanen to the outside of Ferraro. Good stick by Ferraro. Left and back of the goal. And it deflects out of play.
You look at the defensive play by Murphy. I mean, here is a D now, comes in before the deadline, and how instrumental these two pairs, the top 4, playing a very smart role defensively for the Oilers. Connor McDavid is putting on a show tonight. We'll look at his hat trick. For him, coming in, making sure that he's a dangerous force every time he's on the ice. His skating ability, his speed is a thing of beauty. As a defender, there's no way to predict, or as a goaltender, he's so quick with his skates, but also so quick with his hands and his stick. And Mace, if you have a look at this career resume for Connor McDavid, unbelievable stats, but you know the one thing missing for him is that so far elusive Stanley Cup, but looking like he is finding his very best game as the playoffs approach.
Yeah, I mean, he's a generational talent, there's no question. And you know that we peg the matchup, Celebrini versus McDavid, and McDavid is showing young Celebrini there's levels to this game.
And that's going to haunt him, the chalice, until he gets it. The last couple of seasons getting that close. Long years, draining years. Murphy now moved along. Jones on a cycle. Nurse with a shot wide looking for a tip. Connor Murphy gets support from Max Jones. He fans on it. Murphy will pick it up. It goes off the stick of Ostapchuk along the dasher. Picked up again by Edmonton's Adam Henrique. Will swing it across on a change. Shifting in, Podkolzin. And now Ferraro in a battle here along the boards. Ostapchuk will glide it out to center.
And John, we've heard comments from McDavid, from this team. They know how hard it is to get to that Stanley Cup final, but there's also an understanding and a recognition of what it takes. You think about additions and whether it's Murphy on D, the reliable goaltending that Ingram's provided for them.
Yeah, they've had to adjust on the fly. A shot. Nedeljkovic says no on Matt Savoy.
And they have had to. I mean, the Ingram story is an interesting one. Here's a goaltender, you know, that's had to earn and work for this opportunity. And they said, you know, he doesn't have to steal games for us. And Nedeljkovic, he's had some great saves tonight too. But here's a look at the traffic in front. This is where Podkolzin's been living for the game. Like making sure just outside that crease that he's creating that presence, taking away the eyes of Nedeljkovic. But at the other end for Ingram, they said for him, he doesn't have to steal games, but just making sure that he makes the saves when they need him to. For both teams, really, Mace. I mean, obviously you're the goaltender and the specialist, but they want to make sure they've got solid goaltending.
And he's got that demeanor. Obviously, it's a tough market for goaltenders here the last couple of years playing in there, but Connor Ingram's got that cool demeanor. Just nothing phases him. He picks up a goal or makes a great save. He's got that calm kind of attitude in there, and I think that settles the team down as well.
Desharnais through center ice. Graf has Celebrini in front. There he is. Great stick. Jason Dickinson on the way back. Dickinson now under pressure here. Almost gave it away. Ekholm off the boards, then out. Desharnais swallowed up by Connor Ingram.
That's a very smart play by Dickinson, because him coming back on that back check, he knows it's Celebrini, and Celebrini is wanting that puck, so he knows it's coming over to him, and just great acceleration. You see Celebrini trying to find that space. Look at the just hop in the stick in the step by Dickinson. Eventually, the timing to make sure he intercepts that puck as it's coming across to Celebrini.
Yeah, and you talked about Connor Murphy, and obviously Dickinson, another one of those players that is really a defensive specialist, and without Draisaitl and Hyman, it's kind of forced them to really pay more attention to the defensive details, and going into the playoffs, obviously that's a huge point of contention for everybody, and maybe something that's a little blessing in disguise for Edmonton.
Face-off possessed outside the line by Orlov, delayed offside. San Jose will tag up. McDavid moves it.
And it was a smart defensive play by Nugent Hopkins. Off that draw in your defensive zone. You know how you had Celebrini and had the forward set up on the inside of the zone. Nugent Hopkins read it.
Celebrini, good shot off the blocker of Ingram. 10 seconds left, a heavy hit. McDavid hit hard by Celebrini. And Connor McDavid is back out.
Again, Edmonton continues to defend well. They push Celebrini to the outside. They get that shot. Good net front protection there on Colin Graf. And easy save for Connor Ingram.
Well, you're seeing those battles, and here's Celebrini late, just looking for that shot. Ingram's got the angle and just pushes it to the side, and that's where we see the battle. The compete from Celebrini. He knows they're down by 3. This is a huge game. We see the physicality.
Coming up, it's the Discover Intermission Report. Liam, Ace, Jelly, and Panger. Celebrini got it started. Then Connor McDavid took over. 5-2 Edmonton after 40.
It's a Discover Intermission Reports. Every now and then, the best player on the planet has to go out and remind all the people that he is still the best player on the planet. Connor McDavid's got a hat trick. He's got 5 points.
Look at Nedeljkovic.
Oh, Nedeljkovic. You don't want to be facing that camera.
Facing the wrong way.
Hat trick, 5 points, still 20 more minutes to play in this one. He's got 132 points. That leads the NHL. He's got 47 goals. That's just, at this point, 4 back of Nathan McKinnon for the lead league.
What's Jelly doing over there?
Hiding my hands.
One went off the stick.
If he has like
1-inch
4 more 5-point games.
Why are you hiding your hands?
Exactly.
I told you offset, but anyway.
Well, tell the viewers.
Because you can't bring it up.
Yeah,
and
musicians to analysts, they hide your hands. They look big when you put them out.
Jeez, you got massive hands.
You got big hands.
Now you'll never.
Can you put those things away? All right. God. If you missed the pregame show,
me too.
Which I don't know why, when you hear this banter, why you wouldn't have tuned in for it. You missed
both of you picking Macklin Celebrini likely to win MVP if his team makes
if they get in the playoffs, yeah.
You picked Nikita Kucherov.
Yep.
So probably fueling Connor McDavid, who maybe he was watching. Also adding fuel to that fire is the fact that this tweet went out, which I thought was interesting, from the NHL. Who would take him the Hart Trophy this
Come on, NHL.
Kucherov, Nathan McKinnon, Macklin Celebrini. Not listed on that. Connor McDavid, as we go to the Discover highlights.
What did Michael Jordan say?
And I took it personally. You know it. And it feels like that tonight.
It really does. I mean, he's in attack mode. When you watch Connor McDavid play and Leon Draisaitl is on the team on the ice, he takes about 3.6 shots a game. Without Leon Draisaitl, 4.4 shots a game. And this play here against a smooth skating Nick Leddy, who's skating forward the entire time, Connor McDavid makes him look like an amateur hockey player. 100 miles an hour, beats both Dickinson and Leddy to the blue paint. The goaltender Nedeljkovic has no chance, and then gets a little bit of a nice lucky break here. He's trying to make that pass, goes off of Orlov's stick, right?
Got to be good to be lucky, huh?
You have to be, but this is the battle we've been tuning in to watch the whole game. Celebrini up against McDavid. Celebrini kind of bumps the official. We're going to see it play out. Gives the ref a little shot. Oh, my bad. My bad, Strike. My bad.
Hit the lines.
And then he goes hard against McDavid, their panger. You love to see these two guys competing, but I believe McDavid went this game, and as Liam mentioned, he took it personally.
I think so, too. How hard would it be, though? You play on the Olympic team, you're on his line, you get to know him real well. He is the greatest player in the world, and just to have the battle and the compete, you got to bump guys. It's not a soft game out there, and you got to do it, and he does it. I just love his competitiveness. I'm sure he learned an awful lot from Connor, an awful lot from Sidney Crosby. Can you imagine? He just went to university right there. I mean, 8-year university to be with those guys, to learn what they're all about, and to know that when the game starts, you got to go, you got to bump, you got to win the battles. And yeah, they've been paired up a lot in this hockey game, and if you're going to pair up against the greatest one and you want to be the greatest one, then you're going to have to bump a little bit. So, but it's been one-sided for sure. We all know that. And I think Connor's taken advantage, too, of some of the matchups. I think Knobloch's getting him on the ice every second shift. Yeah. And he's taken advantage of even young Sam Dickinson. He's taken advantage of maybe some tired legs on the San Jose Sharks and making them pay a big price.
You brought something up there, just the idea of getting him out there over and over. It does feel like he's on the ice almost every other shift, even though that's not the case. We talk about his speed. His stamina has got to be pretty impressive. I mean, for someone who was, riding the bike in the sauna, this is a guy who, he's going full speed every time he's on the ice.
Yep.
And he's back out there all the time.
The luxury now they have is you won't have to play him all those minutes with the 5-2 lead, right? So now he managed it perfectly, coaching, that they were able to get this lead now. And now he'll end up with the right amount of minutes at the end of the game and, save some for next game.
Or does he want to do that?
But he doesn't get tired.
Does he want to do that?
He does get tired.
Would Gretzky want to do do that?
Not a chance.
You got a chance to keep pounding away right here.
Single game career pounding points is 6.
And he's got 5.
He's got 5.
Oh, he keeps rolling for me.
If we keep picking everybody for MVP, he's going to like.
Would you like to pick someone else? We could keep going.
You heard Chelly
I like Connor right off the hop here.
We're just talking about Celebrini.
I do want to bring this up. So McDavid entered the night with 1,210 points, third most by any player under the age of 30, behind Mario Lemieux. He was right behind him. Lemieux had 1,211. He's now passed him, so he's got 1,215. He won't turn 30 until January. That gives him some time. I don't think he's going to catch Gretzky, though. 1,215 right now. He's got to get to 2,072. No, by the time he's 30.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm saying he has to then in 10
by the time he's 30.
I thought you meant his whole career.
No,
yes.
before
goodness.
30.
Yes, not a chance.
Well, I just love these records that are unreal, and then you're like, and then there's what Gretzky did. And,
well, Ryan agrees with you.
Yeah.
I don't mind that comment, though.
There he
There
is.
it is.
Yeah.
There you go. The arms don't match the face. Jeez.
He's got hands like you, Chelly.
What's happening?
He's got to hide
those hands in my body next time.
I take it back.
Go surfing in Malibu.
He's got to hide those hands.
Just give me MJ's hands next time, okay? That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for too much, am I?
Chelly's got them.
Those are Chelly's hands.
You're watching the Discover Intermission Report. Discover, the official card of the NHL.
Sharks defense versus McDavid.
Pete.
Oh, Pete.
Everybody's defense against McDavid.
Yeah, kind of feels that way.
The old Craig Ludwig.
Oh,
on the back.
Oh.
Backfires on you.
The Sharks need to get Chelly's hands out there to help stop McDavid.
Yeah.
What's up, Beggar?
He had man hands.
The Evergreen.
NHL on TNT is brought to you by Häagen-Dazs. Don't rush indulgence. Take your sweet time. That's Dazs. We're back here at the Shark Tank. John, Jen, Mace with you. Connor McDavid. It's all his show so far.
Well, through the first 40 minutes, it has been Connor McDavid's night. And you think about the 5 points, the hat trick. For him individually, what he's doing for this team, you have Draisaitl out, you have Hyman out, and how important it is for the Oilers to build on their Pacific Division lead. He has been outstanding. But Mason, a change in the goaltender position as the start of the third draws close.
Yeah, Tristan Jarry came out first for the Oilers, and I saw during the second period in the TV timeouts, Connor Ingram was talking to the head athletic trainer. Don't know what they were talking about. Obviously, could be something lingering there, and Tristan Jarry put into the fire here in the third.
And he was put through the fire last night in Salt Lake. Took the loss in overtime 6-5. Little pushing and shoving, Mace, right off the hop here on the center ice faceoff.
So, Mace, how often? Was Ingram coming over often to the bench to have those discussions?
Just on the timeouts, he would have a conversation. It didn't look like anything crazy, and obviously he finished the period, but looks like they determined he couldn't go here in the third. So an opportunity for the Sharks. You mentioned it, Jen. They've had some comebacks this season, and Tristan Jarry going in cold. That's 2.5 hours since warm-up.
Edmonton with a 5-2 lead, 3 goals and 2 assists for Connor McDavid. William Eklund for the Sharks will feed it in. San Jose plays tomorrow night at Honda Center against the Ducks. As it comes out through center, Evan Bouchard steps in, slings it high off the glass.
And you've got to think for the Sharks, right? High priority to get some pucks on net. You only have 2 shots on goal through the first 2 periods. Now you've got a cold Jarry in net. You've got to think, get shots on goal.
Klingberg, Alex Wenberg. Now Ferraro with a shot grazing the outside of the post. Through some traffic out in front. Darnell Nurse goes north with it. Chipped in the zone by Jason Dickinson. Nedeljkovic up to get it. He'll move it. Over the head of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Slammed by Murphy. Blocked in front. Puck is picked up by Celebrini and back out. An injury to Jason Dickinson of Edmonton behind the play.
I think that puck hit Dickinson on the way to Nedeljkovic, and he is down. He's hurt right now. Gets up on his own accord, but obviously laboring here. Not putting any weight there on that left foot, that left leg, and he is struggling. And here it is. It's a blast from the point. Dickinson trying to do a jump screen there and catches him. So he is going off. He is going out off the ice, and the door's on the other side of the bench right now. So Dickinson going to get attended to. No Connor Ingram, and now Dickinson.
Well, he was good vertical, trying to avoid the shot, but just gets a piece of it. And you can see the discomfort.
We'll see if San Jose can capitalize now. Get some momentum early in the period.
Well, that was one thing that Ryan Warsofsky told us about, saying how his team manages the game.
Yeah.
As a young team, got one of the younger teams in the league, certainly in the forward position as well. How are you going to manage? You've got a huge challenge in front of you, but making sure that you still play more than ever with creativity on offense to get those pucks through.
Yeah, and you got to think, Edmonton played last night, as John, you were just saying, and this third period here with Dickinson out now, it's an opportunity for San Jose and those young legs to really get on their horse.
And they've had some heroic comebacks this season. Kapanen's shot goes off the glove of Nedeljkovic and goes out of play. We'll take a look at tonight's Orkin game summary. Edmonton with a 3-goal cushion here at the tank. I can bet yes.
Oh, it's Connor McDavid at the top of the list.
I was just wagering there, Jen. Anyway, Celebrini scored the first goal of this game, a beauty. And you see Edmonton right now trying to pad their lead in the Pacific Division. They'll be in LA on Saturday. Emberson, resting one, caught by Nedeljkovic, will get a stop.
And even though the Sharks are down by 3, you think about their position trying to earn that second wild card spot, move up the standings. One thing in the favor of the Sharks is that they do have a game in hand over the LA Kings and 2 in hand over Nashville. So thinking about trying to climb those spots.
They're the one team that really controls their own destiny. If they win tonight or win those games in hand, they've got the tiebreak and regulation wins on LA. They got some work to do here.
Comes all the way back in the San Jose zone. Nick Leddy gets the blood from the rookie, Michael Misa. He's forechecked by Jack Roslovic, who has a goal tonight. It comes out to center. Played along by Barclay Goodrow. Tyler Toffoli goes deep for the Sharks. Reversed by Max Jones. Reversed again by Wallman.
And Mason, what's it been like down there? Because we heard from their coach, Ryan Worskowski. He said, you know, we want to play free. And that was important for them. What have you seen from the bench? Even though it's a huge challenge, what's the dynamic down there right next to you?
Yeah, the emotions, they don't get too high, don't get too low. They're kind of loose a little bit, a little surprising sometimes. You got a guy like Kiefer Sherwood, though. He's an intense guy. Comes back after missing a chance and banging his stick. But for the most part, not a lot of chirping going on between the benches. Maybe a little bit at the start of the game, but it's been pretty quiet down here, to be honest.
Let's take a look at the race in the Wild West right now.
Well, and there you go. You sort of look at the games remaining and those that have the games in hand for San Jose. I mean, that's a huge advantage for them. Obviously not the position they'd like to be in here in the third period. And we're almost 3 minutes into the third, and they haven't had a shot on net. So just finding a way to attack.
It's been an issue all night. Szymanski blocked. It ricochets back. Flubbed a bit by Connor Murphy. Nice job by Trent Frederick. He's muscled off it by Adam Gaudette. The Sharks will maintain possession. Mario Ferraro, D-to-D. John Klingberg. And they do it again. Ferraro. The Toronto native out to center to the wall. Barclay Goodrow thwarted by Nurse. Shot in by Klingberg. By Tristan Jarry. Murphy. This way it's Nurse. Nurse bumped by Barclay Goodrow. A pinch by Klingberg to keep it there. And he does. And Connor Murphy takes over for the Oilers.
I think about the Oilers defending much better in this game. I mean, it was about a month ago that they brought Paul Coffey back on the bench to help with the D, and how much he's been instrumental in providing that quality feedback to make sure their D are playing well. And we've seen that. We talked to Chris Knobloch before the game. He said we have to close more quickly in the defensive zone, not allow time, close at the points, close in down low on the coverage, and so far they've done a very good job of that.
Yeah, we've been talking, obviously, rightfully so, a lot about Connor McDavid, but you really have to give the Oilers credit with their work without the puck. I think the forwards have been tracking back, getting above the puck in the neutral zone, and really not letting the Sharks use what I think their biggest asset is their speed through the neutral zone. They've done a really good job on San Jose.
Wenberg going wide now. He'll circle the track and lay it back for Desharnais. Wenberg again to the slot, fanned on by Sherwood. It's held in for a moment by Orlov and back out now. San Jose reorganizing. William Eklund supported by Kiefer Sherwood. Wenberg, a handoff for Eklund. He'll take it in. And now coming all the way back to it is McDavid. He'll start his engine. Here comes McDavid with 5 points, 3 goals. And he'll think twice and take it back. It's picked off by Wenberg. San Jose starts again.
Well, another impressive rush by McDavid, and Sherwood tried to get in his way, create a little physicality, but McDavid, his speed is too much to get by everybody and enter that offensive zone.
Edmonton certainly wants to play with the puck this period. They've done a good job here protecting their goaltender. San Jose still yet to get a shot 5 minutes into the game, in the period, sorry.
Will Smith, through center. Taken back, Bouchard angles a pass, Podkolzin, he'll bump it along. Sam Dickinson, the skates of Nick Leddy. He plays it well, still a great skater. In the late stages of his career now, Sam Dickinson. Dickinson pulls up, one-timer, Smith blocked. Adam Henrique, a lead feed, Jones, Nedeljkovic. It's there, Jones blocked by Smith, and it goes to the corner. Reset, fought off without a stick by Nedeljkovic. And the Oilers fling it all the way across for Jake Wallman. Wallman takes it in, broken up by Celebrini. He'll bump it to himself. Macklin Celebrini bears in, shouldered down by Jari.
Can't quite get in as Celebrini attacks, but what a little juggling play on his stick. Just to your right there, Mace, as he's coming in. Great puck control, almost midair.
Yeah, he did a really good job there, but you got to credit Emberson too. Fighting him off made it tough for Celebrini to get that shot through.
Toffoli shot blocked by Wallman. Chernyshov to the outside. He's defended. Back it goes. Ferraro, Toffoli off a stick in play. Captured by Celebrini. He'll deal it back for Klingberg. Klingberg rims it by Chernyshov and all the way around. The Oilers desperate to get out. They will with Trent Frederick. And now Szymanski. Szymanski with a shot blocked by Klingberg. Szymanski gets it back but turns it over. And Toffoli's back out. San Jose changing. Chernyshov busting in to the outside of Connor Murphy.
The last 3 times the Sharks have had offensive possession time, the Oilers have made a good defensive play. Whether it's a shot block, stick to intercept a pass, that time they defended the rush very well.
Yeah,
sure what? Eklund at the line. Mace, you had a thought?
Well, I just said they always have numbers back, and it's obviously the defensive side of things is a high priority for the Oilers.
Eklund now working Nurse. Out in front, rejected by Connor Murphy. Support comes from Jones and now Nugent Hopkins. Here come the Oilers. Kasperi Kapanen threads it in. Wenberg on the way back for the Sharks. Out in front, overskated by Kapanen. He recovers. Bouchard slings at Jones. Kapanen. Now Nugent Hopkins losing control. Pestered by Orlov, who moves it around. Pinching down his Ekholm. He's shouldered by Sherwood. Now Jones hit hard. And it's picked off by Alexander Wenberg. San Jose gets it out. Cherry picking his Eklund. He'll move it in.
But Ekholm recognizing that, Mace, right, that they have numbers back. So Ekholm steps up at the blue line to create the turnover.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime your forwards come back, you get that back pressure. That makes it a lot easier for a defenseman to step up and make those plays.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge presented by Expedia is back.
Oh, boys.
Face off against family and friends. You can claim the ultimate prize. Sign up today at NHL.com/bracket.
11:52 left in regulation time. 5-2 Oilers.
Another Celebrini McDavid draw.
Here we go. Celebrini, Smith, and Graf. The young top line for San Jose. San Jose, no shots in the last 8 minutes and change as that one goes wide. Leddy now to the corner. Moved along, Ekholm. Played back for Will Smith. Winding shot through traffic wide, and Kapanen will get it out.
It's a nice clear. I mean, I think through the first 2 periods, you can't help but be fascinated by the offense of McDavid and 5 points, but defensively.
Sam Dickinson right off the bar.
The Oilers have been pretty good, but here's some pressure by the Sharks. That's what they needed. That one's off the post, but get the shots through.
Yeah, get through, and then Colin Graf right in front of the net. Tristan Jarry hasn't seen that one. He's seen a couple pucks directed at the net, but again, a goaltender coming in after sitting on the bench for 2 periods is tough.
Mace, Celebrini, McDavid, are they tangled right in front of you, just right until they go for their change? We've seen some good battles between those two.
Yeah, and Celebrini too, he's a young kid, but he doesn't back down from that physical part of the game, and obviously a teammate of his at the Olympics with Team Canada, and these guys know what's at stake here.
Barclay Goodrow. Puck was played on a hand pass for stoppage here with 10:45 left to go in this 3rd period. 2 generational talents doing battle tonight here at the Shark Tank, and a little conversation on the way off the ice between Connor McDavid and Macklin Celebrini. We come back with our best on best matchup tonight. SAP Coaching Insights app. This is a case of not so fast, kid. Not yet, at least.
Well, you look at when they faced each other 7 times in their careers, and you can see McDavid now with a pretty significant edge in that department. But Celebrini has still been noticeable. He still creates. He's still a huge presence on the ice. Think about those head-to-heads, but also just what a presence these guys are We've heard the studio talking about the Hart Trophy conversation. And McDavid, I mean, he's factored on over 47.5% of his team's goals before tonight. So after the 5 points in 5 goals tonight, you know that percentage is going to only increase.
Get a calculator out for that. Now it's rolled around. Gaudette. San Jose down by 3. 3 points off the line in the Western Conference. Ostapchuk broken up. Henrique is back. He's forechecked by Gaudette. He slams it back for Klingberg. John Klingberg wristing one, blocked in front. Barclay Goodrow will get to it for the Sharks. Reestablish off Henrique. It deflects to Mario Ferraro. He'll move it in. Emberson under pressure. And the Oilers have numbers back, and they get it out.
And it's important to mention, second best in the league in terms of the percentage of goals you factored on. Celebrini for the Sharks, over 46%.
It's crazy, 108 points, and the next closest is 52 points less than his buddy Will Smith. Just an incredible season.
This is Wenberg off a body, retrieved by Podkolzin. And now Evan Bouchard, deep in his own territory with 9:29 left. Ekholm up the ice by McDavid. Orlov will get to it first, pressured by Savoy. Sherwood gets help from Wenberg. He tried to soccer style it out. Nugent Hopkins. They'll lay it this way for Connor McDavid. He'll stop on a dime, try and draw it back. Nugent Hopkins out of the corner, grinding out. He'll turn it deeper on the turning stick of Kasperi Kapanen. He'll keep it low.
Smart offensive zone play by the Oilers, right? Happy to cycle, keep the puck deep in the zone. Just smart plays.
Yeah.
Because the Sharks, they just haven't had enough sustained offensive zone time, right? They have one shot here, and there's only, you know, a little over 8.5 left here in the third. One shot in the third is not enough.
Kapanen. Good play defensively. Team coverage by San Jose. Now it's fed back in with 8:32 left. Nedeljkovic, Nick Leddy, and now Vincent Desharnais.
Yeah, as in awe as we are of Connor McDavid's performance tonight, I've been so impressed with the Oilers' commitment to the 200-foot game. They're really not giving any momentum or chance for San Jose to come back in this game.
And that is the hidden gem when Edmonton's on their game, and that's how they've been to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. We're back right after this. ESPN Plus and Hulu have the Leafs and Islanders tomorrow at 6:45, followed by the Wild and Stars at 9 Sunday. The Penguins head to D.C. to take on the Washington Capitals at 3 on TNT and HBO Max. Then the Bruins take on the Blue Jackets at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the NHL Network.
Okay, so the Sharks need to apply more pressure. They've got a tall order in front of them, but Mace, during that commercial break, we see Sherwood. So second overall in the league with 309 hits, but quite vocal during that break. So maybe trying to create some intensity for his group.
Yeah, he's a fiery guy, I'll tell you what. And came back to the bench, broke his stick, got a new one, and then him and Trent Frederick are going toe-to-toe with the chirps, and he's fired up, obviously frustrated with the way the game is going for them, and hopefully that emotion can transcend through the rest of the San Jose Sharks. They need a little extra gear here.
Sherwood was picked up from Vancouver and extended right away.
He's got a great
piece
story
moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he was a leading scorer in the American Hockey League, came to Nashville, wondered what he had to do and stay in the National Hockey League, completely changed his game, broke the NHL record for hits last season, 462. I mean, he is a power forward, 20-some-odd goals this year, and a piece that the San Jose Sharks desperately need.
Desharnais bracing for a hit from Podkolzin. Celebrini through the middle. And the ice was taken away by Savoy and McDavid. Smith, Graf, with back check by Podkolzin. There's that team defense again.
For sure, because McDavid saw that it was Celebrini with the puck, and Celebrini was trying to gather his speed in the neutral zone. McDavid was right there with him to match the speed and force Celebrini to turn back to his own blue line.
Dickinson, Sam Dickinson, broken up by Connor Murphy. Played along by Ekholm, and now Leddy moves it across. Sam Dickinson for San Jose. Corralled by the goal stick of Jari. Look out. Centered by Misa. Dickinson checked by Colton Dach. And the Oilers take over again. Ekholm angles a pass for Szymanski. Tyler Toffoli for San Jose. Michael Misa gets it deep. Murphy, as we see, tries to kick it out. Play to the wall, Toffoli trapping the zone. And Connor Murphy will get to it.
You saw another quick close by Ekholm. As the entry comes in, you see them closing so quickly, and then they get the turnover and maintain possession. So Connor McDavid, he really has been the story tonight. But if you think about his season, look at all of these categories where he's leading the NHL. So whether it's the rush chances, the slot shots, the end-to-end rushes, sort of, I would say, I don't know, maybe the signature move that we see from him from those end-to-end rushes, but just so many incredible aspects to his game. And we've talked about how it's nearly impossible to defend him because he can attack in so many different ways, so intelligent, so smart. I mean, an absolute pleasure to have the chance to witness him play.
Well, it's been a joy tonight. Sherwood now feed it in. And again, Edmonton without Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman, both injured. Shot taken from well out, that time by Ferraro is blocked, and it comes back out through center by Nugent Hopkins. Ferraro on his horse gets to it with 6:20 left.
And you know, you think about Connor McDavid too. Sorry, John. I just think, you know, all those offensive accolades, but at this point of the game, he's defending. You know, if the best player on your team is paying attention to the defensive details, that sends a message to the rest of his team.
That's right. Good point. Sherwood now. Eklund powers out off the pad of Jari. It's collected by Jake Wallman. He'll flip. Body down by Klingberg. Nice job there. Ferraro to the wall. Eklund. He's tied up by Jake Wallman. Out of the scrum. 5:45 left in the third. Ferraro emerging. Little dart by Eklund. Good pass. Ferraro tipped wide by Sherwood. And Wallman will clear it through center with some touch. No icing.
Well, I think you're really seeing the completeness in the game for the Oilers. And it starts in the offensive zone, the forecheck, the neutral zone pressure that you're just seeing right there from Roslovic to force them to dump the puck in. Retrieval, support, you're seeing it all in terms of the full game from the Oilers, along with the flash and elite play for McDavid. But now you're just seeing everybody's doing their job. Defensively, they've been a very sound team.
Yeah, completely frustrated San Jose and just taking away all their speed and their transition game that's really been non-existent because of the defensive play of the Oilers.
There's another example of McDavid's good play. Matching speed, just an angle out, quick touch back, and your D get the puck.
Well, Chris Knoblauch was blunt before the game about how they played last night defensively against a really good skating team in Utah. You give them room, they go.
Well, and you talked about the game against Vegas, too, where he didn't like how they were defending the rush. So certainly tonight they made those adjustments to defend the rush well, to be strong and smart and close the gap in the defensive zone on the coverage and spend less time in the defensive zone. So great adjustments by the Oilers.
Ekholm, little dump in here. Nedeljkovic will move it along. It encumbers Sam Dickinson from the flank, flung wide by Savoy. Ekholm again, tipped off the pad of Nedeljkovic. Down low, that was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And now Macklin Celebrini. Just about 16 minutes gone in this third period. John Forsland, Jen Bottrell, and Chris Mason from the Shark Tank. And it's been quiet here in the third period.
And Edmonton's just playing a smart period. I mean, they're not going, McDavid's not going for 6-7 points. They're just playing strong defensively and really not giving the Sharks anything.
Chernyshov is broken up. It's retaken by Frederick, right back in. Into the center zone, Toffoli, bottled up. Colton Dach gets it deep.
Almost every shift you can mention someone else. That time it was Dach. The body pressure, the stick check just inside the defensive blue line.
Colton Dach to the slot, broken up. That was Michael Misa. Chernyshov. Shoot in by Wallman. He'll go off on a line change. You see Emberson to the boards with it. Dach gets to it, to the logo. It's Klingberg and back. 3:07 left. Sherwood. Recaptured by Eklund. William Eklund is peppered on the play by Wallman. It comes back out to center. John Klingberg. His first game in a long while. Through center, Sherwood. He has a goal tonight. Tristan Jarry in relief of Connor Ingram. At the start of this third period, Desharnais, no tip available. Here's Orlov. Pawed down a bit by Evan Bouchard. Eklund for San Jose. A little bit of a reverse hit on McDavid. Desharnais shot easily kicked out by Jari. Out in front. It's cleaned up by the Oilers again. Adam Henrique. Connor McDavid will gain the zone. Bouchard's the trailer. McDavid in tight. Shut down by Nedeljkovic. To the boards. 2:15 left.
There's just nothing there. This building is just absolutely silent right now. The Oilers just a masterful game in terms of the defensive play and the response from their game last night in Utah.
Edmonton looking for their 40th win of the season, their 19th on the road, as that one goes out of play with 1:57 left. The Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge presented by Expedia is back. Register now to make your picks once seeds are set. You could claim the ultimate prize. Sign up today at NHL.com/bracket.
You look at Edmonton and Connor McDavid. I think it was a couple weeks ago talking about the race in the Pacific for the division. He called it a pillow fight, but now it looks like Edmonton wants to step up. They're in the opportunity to win that. They've got the tiebreaker, and this is a big step in the right direction for Edmonton, no question.
But it is close there. Even if it's the pillow fight that he's joking about, I feel like it's close. So for them trying to build on that lead in the Pacific Division is important for them. I mean, they've said they're not concerned about where they are in the standings, just making sure they punch their ticket to the playoffs, confident whether they start at home or on the road that they can play well. We've heard that from their roster.
And where your game is when 82 games are in the books.
Absolutely. That's the key. You want to go in feeling good about your game, and especially defensively. No one gets to the Stanley Cup Finals without a strong defensive game. And I think Edmonton's shown tonight they've got the ability to do that.
On Sunday, the Pittsburgh Penguins, led by Sidney Crosby, take on Alex Ovechkin. Check that out. And the Washington Capitals. Tune in at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max.
What, that was just a couple of years ago?
Yeah, for some of us.
We said it when we saw that. Looks like the Beatles. Someone said that before the game when we saw that.
That's how I look at it. That's just a couple of years ago. Yeah. Nurse now will dump it in.
1 minute. Well, you think what legends they are in the game. Ovechkin, Crosby, and what we've been able to see tonight with McDavid and Celebrini. But what a performance by McDavid. And really, you think again, with Draisaitl out and Hyman out, and how much McDavid is carrying this team and the completeness of their game, and what an indication of what they're capable of without those two in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. And Ace was talking about that. They're talking about that in the intermission, just how much he's had to carry the load even more without those guys. And if there's any player that's capable of doing it, it's definitely Connor McDavid.
Well, the Sharks will hit some adversity now. They will be at the Anaheim Ducks tomorrow night in a dogfight for a playoff spot. As it's knocked down by Szymanski, 14 seconds left. This game billboarded as a headline act between 19-year-old Macklin Celebrini, as that shot's negated by Toffoli, and Connor McDavid, who wins the night. Best player of this one, a 5-point game for Edmonton's 97 and a 5-2 win over the San Jose Sharks.
What a performance by Connor McDavid. He was smart, he was fast, he was everywhere. The hat trick, the 5 points. We don't see him smile that often. That's a nice smile as the team now congratulating Jari as well. One question mark that we'll have to see in terms of that goaltending, but here's a look at the AT&T connected cam at that one play. If they were trying to slow him down, he just found a way all night to get the looks, to maintain possession, and to get those 5 points individually, but more importantly, the points in the standings.
The Edmonton Oilers, led by Connor McDavid, first place in the Pacific Division, and a resounding win tonight over the San Jose Sharks by the count of 5-2. It started with the bright young approach, 19 years of age, Macklin Celebrini, then McDavid took over the show. Coming up next after the commercial break, it's the NHL on TNT postgame show presented by Vanda Pharmaceuticals with our guys in the Atlanta studio. For Jen Bottrell, Chris Mason, this is John Forsland saying good night from the Shark Tank in San Jose.